Alright guys, welcome back. This is Stractify 500. We are in the midst of our perspective drawing series and we are currently covering staircases. In the last video, I covered how to draw staircases above the horizon line, exclusively above the horizon line, and some of the problems that you could run into and how to solve those problems. So also in that last video, the equidistant the markings that I used to help build the steps were equidistant. They were equal in length. Okay. In this case, in this video, they're not going to be equal. I'm going to sort of arbitrarily pick the length, and they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as I go up the steps, as I go up the staircase. And I'll explain the reasoning for that in a second. Let me jump straight into it and get started with that. All right. So you've already seen me do. If this is your first video, watch the previous videos on staircases where I get into quite a bit of detail as to how to go about building things up. And all of that leads and culminates in this video. It comes together in this video. So basically I'm doing a lot of the same things over and over again in this particular video, so I'm not going to be as detailed in my instruction this time around. I'll cover like the things that are important, but watch those videos to get, the full scope of what we're doing here. Okay, so that's going to be the base, and this is going to be my true height line right here. And what I mean by the true height line is like, this is the line where I can lay down all my measurements, and my measurements can be as exact, and the measurements are not affected by the perspective foreshortening that takes place in either direction. So if my perspective is going back into the background, the measurements will be proportionate and accurate all the way through, but this is where I can lay down all my measurements for everything. So if I'm going back or if I'm moving forward, everything remains consistent, even though the foreshortening is affecting it in some way, causing things to get smaller or bigger as they recede or they move forward in space. And I said that mouthful right after saying that, I wouldn't be explaining a bunch of stuff, but there you have it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's build up our cube again. So I'll just start with the base. And just to be clear, vanishing point, vanishing point. All right, and I am going to go ahead and just quickly establish two things. This up a little closer, I guess, like so, and then I am going to establish that length for the first step. So this is going to be a bit of a wonky construction, so I'm going to have to point a few things out as I go along. and maybe even make some adjustments along the way as I go along. So this isn't something that you will do frequently or regularly. The whole point of this is to sort of clarify, make clear what goes on when you're constructing a staircase in perspective, 2-point perspective, above the horizon line. Some of the things that I've already covered, that I've already demonstrated in previous videos. This should help to make some of those concepts a little clearer. That's sort of what I'm going for here. All right, so let's go ahead and lay out the measurements. So I'm going to start, and I'm just going to lay it out arbitrarily. So I'm going to start real small, 1, and get bigger as I go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do like 8, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 way up here. Okay, so nobody ever builds a staircase like this, but let's see how certain things work as we move along here. Okay, that's the top. So let's go ahead and establish our cube. Getting a little nervous because the back of the cube is a little closer than usual. Anyway, we will work with it. Okay. That's me not paying full attention. Right there. That's me not getting it together. This is supposed to go to your vanishing point. Okay, and extra points to whoever pointed that, saw that and pointed it out, like, hey, his line's going the wrong way. It's not going to the vanishing point. Extra credit to whoever pointed that out. You can leave your name in the, you can take credit for it in the comment section. There we go. Right there. And we go ahead. Yeah, those lines are getting awfully close again. So maybe mindful of my connections. There. We've got that. Got that and that. Got that, and then we've got this. Now we need to get this side. Again, I think I pointed this out in another video, but since I'm not using a T-square, the way I try to keep everything parallel is to have these lines marked to make sure that I line up my ruler correctly so that I can maintain the parallel, keep my horizontal lines as parallel as possible. So that's what that's all about. Trying to be careful, but I am trying to be quick as well without rushing things too much. I'm not gonna, I think we're falling right about there. Because instead of the lines connecting like that, they're sort of flattening out a little bit, so it makes it hard to pinpoint the exact intersection sometimes. But, you know, I'm still gonna at least take a guess and see what's going on, see how right I am. All right. Okay. Ooh, I am quite a ways off. That's a weird angle. I don't like that at all. At all. You're telling me I'm right here? Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, it's off. It's like outside of that. The intersection is taking place more or less here, but something's a little bit off. But I'm gonna work with it, and hopefully it doesn't mess everything else up. It shouldn't, but I'm gonna take my chances. All right. Okay, so there's our cube. Let me darken the bottom, darken the base of the cube, which will become our staircase. So this is what we're working with right here. It's a little wonky there, but that won't affect everything else. It shouldn't. All right, so there's everything in place. I'm going to go ahead and connect these measurements, these equidistant marks, well, not equal, these unequal marks, these arbitrary marks, to the vanishing point, and complete our staircase. So this is going to be a wonky kind of exercise, so I'm going to have to do some things that are kind of unorthodox. Which you will see in a minute, less than a minute. Oh boy, there we go. All right. Okay, so now in the one that I practiced, something strange happened, and it's not happening now. Okay, good. It's not happening now, so it looks like I'm not going to be as unorthodox as I thought I would be. All right, so in the last one, I made my first step so low that when I connected the two corners diagonally like that, they ended up falling. The diagonal line ended up falling there on the back side of the cube instead of at the top where it should fall. So what I did was to use both, combine this polygon and this polygon, well, both these steps, and project my line through that corner up to the top in the last drawing. Let me see if I can find it in my little test version so you can have a visual, see what I'm talking about. All right, let me make sure it's showing up. So there it is. Let me zoom in real quick. There we go. focus. So right there, that's where it fell. Nothing I can do about that. So I said I used this instead. Was able to connect to the top and then finish the construction. And as you can see, it didn't distort or disrupt the construction in any way, in any major way. I just used that as the first step and then, continued with the rest and constructed as normal. So just keep that in mind in case that happens to you. That's one of the things that you can do. All right, well, let's continue. This is going to, I need to zoom out. It would help if I zoomed out. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Okay, so this line is going to get in the way. I don't need it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Well, it helps with the back corner, so I'm going to get rid of this part at least. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a dotted line for the sake of clarity, a light dotted line. There we go. So that there is no confusion whatsoever. And I'm not worried about this at all. So, all right, let's continue. From here to here, this corner, this polygon right here, corner to corner, project that line upwards. I'm going to project it straight through. I'm going to put an arrow at the top in case I need to find it again. I'm going to be like, okay, let me look for the arrow in case anything gets confusing. Okay, and then once I've got that in place, I've got this point, this intersecting point, this one, and so on. I'm going to get all of them as I usually do. And I usually make a nice pinpoint, but I'm gonna make them big ugly dots so that you guys can see them clearly. Those of you watching can see very clearly what I'm up to. Okay. All right. I'm a little concerned. All right. Let me finish. Let's see if what I intended is going to work. All right, where's my... All right, if a portion of my head is popping up on camera, apologies for that. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm still a little concerned. I was getting concerned because the point of this exercise is to have more of the tops of the staircase show up a bit more since they're higher. It's looking like they might still like collide with each other. We'll see. I'm going to complete this whole thing. And if you're watching it, I decided to leave it because right now I'm actually thinking I should probably just do another example of this, a better example of this, and just go more extreme. But I might leave it and still do a more extreme version just so that you can see the process. I think that can be very helpful as well. So let me continue and let's see how it turns out. Instead of being nervous, I'll just, just finish it. Let the chips fall where they may, and I'll shoot another one if I have to. Just put it up here, and then you guys can, watch both, compare and contrast, and learn from it, so that when you make, because when I'm learning something in the classroom and everything is presented so perfectly, it would stress me out. Not a whole lot, but it would stress me out that, I wasn't getting everything right or exactly the way the instructor presented it. And sometimes it's probably good to just let the mistakes show, so that people who are learning cannot be as stressed out about it or concerned about it. They can just understand that, okay, I have to take a few stabs at it. Mine isn't perfect. It's not always perfect. And I think I think that's a crucial part of the learning. Ever since I started teaching, I've actually, like years ago, I've actually made a lot of allowance to just make mistakes in front of the students and let them see those mistakes and let them see that, okay, sometimes sometimes you can mess up, and these are the ways you can mess things up. And they sort of know what to expect when they do it themselves. It takes a little, it's beginning to smush. I don't like that. Beginning to collide. Okay, that's fine. It's also the extreme angle too. So these ones at the top that are just, these two collided because the measurement was maybe a little too close. I didn't expand on them enough. This one, not so much. So, and then this one, although this one was supposed to be wider, the foreshortening sort of killed it. All right. But in some cases you are going to, let me draw real quick, in some cases you are going to get staircases that do that. The further up you go. So you are going to get something like that. So you should expect that too. Okay, so keep in mind that that can happen, and in some cases it should happen. If you're if this happens, then you don't have to worry about all this extra stuff that I'm showing you. It just makes the whole construction just really easy when you're getting this effect. So just keep that in mind. All right. So, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to come here. What was it here? Well, here, and extend that over here. But you know what? I'm gonna take it from here. That's gonna fall right there. And, well, let me extend this to as well. That's going to, where is that going to fall? corner here to here. This corresponds with that, so therefore this corresponds with that, like so. Let me get that green pen again. Okay, right there. And let me work from the bottom up. So we've got that, that goes here. And since a lot of these are just falling into that obscure area, I'm just going to worry about, not worry, but just be concerned with the ones that are showing up, and make sure that they're showing up in the right place. Okay. Me and my bright ideas. Anyway, I'll probably take another stab at this at some other point. In that case, this needs to... Okay, I've taken care of that. So let's take care of this. That point, this falls right there. Let me zoom in. It's getting weird, guys. Sorry about that. I mean, no apologies necessary, but, you know, still. That base falls right there. So if I extend the vertical, I'm just going to take it step by step. So that will come up here like that. There we go. All right, and let me darken this. Make sure that's complete. Great. Got a death grip on that mechanical pencil, don't I? Okay, so we've got that, and we've got this sticking out. This one falls behind, so I'm not going to worry about it. This falls behind as well. This is sticking out substantially, so I will see what I can do about that. So let's see. Here we go, right here, to the vanishing point, and then where it intersects is right there, and from that point, line things up. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and darken this. Try and be careful too, because that other step, the line is so close. I hate it when that happens. I really do. That's my... I don't like that at all. All right, but I'm going to make it happen, though. Go make it happen. So these two don't have to worry about. It's this one I need to worry about. So let me... And it's going to come up here. It's going to pop up there somewhere. So let me extend this to the vanishing point. Let's see, and crosses here somewhere. There we go. Okay. right there. The things I do for you guys, man. The things I do, please. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, and then there's that, and then that falls behind, so we're done. So, my wonky staircase. It's a bit of a mess. Zoom out. Come on now. There we go. Let's zoom in closer so you can see what I've come up with. Make sure we're all focused here. Not getting any weird blurry stuff. I'm going to zoom out. And that's what we've got. All right, so that is the end of part B for the staircase above the horizon line. I am not sure, maybe not, maybe I'll do it again. Depends on how I feel. We'll see. But after these staircases, I'm gonna be dealing with some basic inclines and how to put those together in 1-point and 2-point perspective. And then I'll have some other stuff after that. All right, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, leave some comments. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. And you know, subscribe, build up the subscription. I have more stuff coming besides just perspective, so this isn't going to just keep going on forever and ever. This is just going to be a section of this channel. So we're coming to, I think we're coming to the end of some of the stuff I want to cover, but we'll see. Let your friends know about it, and I will see you in the next video. You take care and have fun drawing, and let me know how it's going. All right.